Hello, everybody. It just hit 8:30 p.m. on the 11th of September 2022. No, October. What September? October, people. We just hit the 11th of October 2022. And guess what it is? It is Vlogtober 2022. See, I'm doing that thing again. 2022, and today it is day 11 of Vlogtober. So we got some couple of things that we need to discuss today. I have four items on my agenda, if you want to call it that. One of that is an announcement that was done by YouTube yesterday, and it's going to affect all YouTube channels, whether you are new on the platform or you are a veteran on the platform. It doesn't matter, but it is good news. Do not worry, it's good news. Remember, I've always told you guys that all these changes that are happening on YouTube is because they want all of this to benefit you as much as they also want to benefit. So, as long as you are following the YouTube policy guidelines, the committee guidelines, the copyright guidelines, you name it and you name it, you should be good. So you have nothing to worry about. However, we are going to discuss this at a later stage. But for now, I want to say hello to all of you and let me introduce myself if you are new to my channel, because I've noticed that there are new people that have just subscribed to my YouTube channel because of Vlogtober, and I want to warmly welcome you to my YouTube channel, The Real Clantis Tutorials. If you've been wondering what does this channel do, well, I do all things related to YouTube. So if you just started a YouTube channel and you're just finding out things about YouTube that you did not think would be needed of you, for example, like how do I understand the YouTube algorithm? How does the YouTube algorithm affect my YouTube videos the moment I have uploaded a video? What happens to the life of the video in the first 24 hours, in the first 48 hours, the first month, etc., and so on? Those are the things that we discuss, and how you can impress the YouTube algorithm in order for it to take the videos that you are going to be uploading to more people, basically to spread your videos around the world for other people to watch, subscribe if they are impressed with your content, and all those sort of stuff. So do not be afraid. Do suss out this channel. Everything in this channel is all positive. I do answer all of your questions if you come to my Instagram DM, which is the Real Clantis at the Real Clantis Tutorials. If you are struggling with something, or maybe you're failing to understand something about YouTube, then you can just DM me and I will respond. I may not respond immediately. If you're going to send a DM during the day, I'm at work. If you're going to send a DM around this time, chances are not chances are, I will respond to it, because from this time around, well, now that we have Vlogtober, I find myself still editing at this time. That is why most of my Vlogtober videos kind of like get uploaded almost at midnight or after midnight. Let me tell you something about yesterday, you guys. Here we were thinking, high load shedding is all. Yeah, I was taking my time because I knew that this video was going to go up at 10. Come 10 o'clock, Nyami. I was like, okay, wait, did my switch fall? There I run with my camera lights and I'm checking. No. I look around, I open the curtain. It's load shedding, people. It's load shedding. I was so upset because that vlog was actually exporting at that time. So I don't know what happened while it was exporting, because let me tell you something, that vlog is not 28 minutes long, which you guys watched the final cut. It was actually 33 minutes long. Now the first 13 minutes, I don't know what happened to it. Is it 13 minutes? Is my math okay? However minutes were there got erased. I don't know how they got erased. I had an intro, I was talking, and then I was basically doing what I usually do in the beginning of my vlog. And then I think I did something else in between, but all those footages gone. What you guys see is actually a process that I already started in the kitchen. And I was like, okay, I think I'm fine with that. I'm cool. For some reason, or by the forces of the universe, it started at the right time. You wouldn't even know that that vlog was actually cut out. I don't know how it got cut out, but it was cut out. I'm happy that it was well received. I see I'm approaching 500 views on that. Okay, 500 views according to my YouTube studio. That's what it's telling me. I know that the YouTube studio gives you a different number versus a number that people can see on your side when you're watching. But on my side, it says I'm approaching 500 views. Could be different on the other side. So I see everybody is trickling in, and let me say hello in the chats. I see my friend Betty, gardening with Betty K. Hello, my friend. How are you? And yes, my other favorite YouTuber, almost said Philila. My goodness, Philila Barbara. How are you doing, sister? It's so great to see you here. Thank you so much. I see Chantal as well. Hi, Chantal M. Good to see you here and welcome. And Malebo, Journey of an Auxiliary Nurse. Hello to you too. Thank you for joining in. All my favorite people are coming through. Everybody's my favorite, but I have those special ones. And then they just here. And everybody unsubscribes. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. So as I was saying, that that vlog is doing wonders. I'm so grateful. It's also picking up subscribers. I think thus far it picked up about 15 subscribers, which is awesome. Just today alone. That is awesome. I think it's every YouTuber's dream to at least grow 10 subscribers a day at most. Yes, you might think that is a slow growth, but yeah. Usually, I don't like talking about numbers when it comes to my YouTube channel because I don't think as a content creator on YouTube, you should be focusing your attention on the numbers, particularly subscriber count, likes, and yes, no, you should worry about likes because likes do trigger the algorithm to promote your YouTube video. That is why it's so important that every time you upload a video or in between your video when you're creating it, you make a call of action that people must like your videos. Just like I'm going to ask you to please click the like button for this live because it is also connected to the YouTube algorithm for the algorithm to take this live when it becomes a replay or a video and promotes it to other people. So that's very, very important that you do. So the other point that the first point, something that Ndibu T said in her video, I think earlier this week or last? I think it was Saturdays, either Saturday or Sunday. She had a video and she spoke about that she's got multiple channels, Ndibu, and none of the channels are under one email account. I thought that was actually a very interesting point that she mentioned that all of her channels do not fall under one email account. And then I thought that was very smart of her to do something like that because, and I'll tell you why you should also, if you happen to have multiple channels, by multiple channels, I'm talking about a channel where you have more than one channel. See, English now it's running. If you have more than one channel, separate your one channel from your other channel email account. So basically, what you are doing there is, suppose one of your channels happens to violate or grossly violate a YouTube policy. For example, let's say it violates, I don't know. Let me just think of one that is maybe cyberbullying. Let's say YouTube algorithm went across your video and it caught one of your videos and then it deemed it as cyberbullying. That is another thing, guys, I will keep mentioning. Which, let me make a note of this because I may forget this point. YouTube purge. I will explain what is YouTube purge soon, which is linked basically to what I'm trying to say. So let's say the YouTube algorithm was sussing out your channel and it came across a video that it considered to have violated one of YouTube's policies, and then it flagged your YouTube channel for deletion, meaning to be removed from the platform. Now, let's say now that channel is flagged and is scheduled to getting deleted, and then they send you an email letting you know that, dear content creator, blah blah, whatever your name is, your YouTube channel is going to be deleted on the 31st of October 2022. They will not necessarily tell you the reasons why, but maybe they'll say for a violation of a policy, or maybe they're not even going to say that at all. You'll just wake up on the 31st of October, boom, your channel is gone. Now, if you have two channels under one, let's say you have two channels and both your channels are under one email account, the problem is when, and then then your second channel, it's clean, there's nothing wrong that the algorithm found or a human reviewer found, but that one channel needs to be deleted out of YouTube because it violated YouTube policies. Do you know that on the 31st of October, when that channel that is scheduled for deletion, it takes along your second channel? Imagine if you had 5 channels under one email account. Now, the thing is, the point is that when YouTube deletes your channel, it does not necessarily delete your channel. It deletes your email account. Remember, in order for you to open a YouTube channel, you open a YouTube channel under a Gmail account, a Gmail email account. So now when they remove your channel, they're not removing your channel. Basically, they are deleting your email account. So if you are clantis@gmail.com and then clantis@gmail.com is scheduled for deletion, then every channel that is under that gets deleted with that email account. So that is why Andibu mentioned that her channels do not have, they have their own email account, so that she's protecting all the other channels in case YouTube, sometimes YouTube will make a mistake. That it has happened many a times where YouTube, if anything, that if what happened on Saturday taught us anything, I'm talking now about people that are monetized. You woke up on Saturday morning and then you discover that your YouTube channels were demonetized. They were not demonetized, there was a glitch. So now imagine you woke up that morning and then you discover that you no longer have a channel. It has happened before because mistakes like this do happen. Remember, we are dealing with machines. Machines do break, and when they break, sometimes oops do happen. And how to get your channel back, YouTube will be like, well, that mistake happened and there's nothing we can do about it. So imagine now under that one account, all your channels were gone with that email address. So if you are going to open a YouTube channel or multiple YouTube channels, make sure that you open their own email account so that you can protect all the other channels from something of this nature. So I know I just scared you, terrified you. Good. Now, if you have multiple channels and they're under one email address, go and change that. You can do it. Yes, you can do it. You can separate your YouTube, your email accounts on all of your channels. Let me go back to the live chats and let's see. Pilar says, we are cool, my dear, and glad to be here. Thank you so much, Heiners. Okay. Chantal says, gosh, worrying about numbers will mess you up. Seriously, I don't even check it. I also don't check my numbers. The only time I check my YouTube studio is when I'm studying the analytics. I always have a problem pronouncing that. I only do it when I'm checking my analytics, when I'm checking my audience retention, where I need to make changes, and stuff like that. I don't care much about the subscriber count. It's going to grow on its own when it does. I don't want to have a heart attack. I don't want every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is check, like, where am I today? No, it's very stressful and it can mess up with your mental health. So I would also advise against checking those numbers, especially your subscriber count. Yours is to worry about posting content on your channel. That's it. Just feed your channel with content, and feed your channel with content that people have searched for or will search for as time goes on. Okay. Malabo is greeting Betty and Betty is greeting back. I'm coming back, mommy duties. Oh, okay. We'll be right here when you come back, hopefully. Let's hope that load shedding, well, that's why it's 9:15, so I don't think right now they will switch off. Maybe they will switch off at 10 again. Let's see. Molebo is shocked. YouTube will be the end of us. You imagine channel being deleted along with secondary joint channels. And do they give you a chance to redeem yourself before they delete? No. Once your channel is scheduled for deletion, you can appeal until you are purple in the face. You are not going to change their minds. That is why it's so very important that you follow. If you have never studied, and by studying, I don't mean like now you have to memorize. If you have not read the YouTube policies, they are there in your YouTube studio. They are there in your channel. Click on them and read them all. Read them and understand them. If you don't understand them, please do come to my DM on Instagram at The Real Clancis Tutorials and let me break it down for you so that you can understand. So many violations that YouTubers make on the platform usually are copyright, repetitious content where you take somebody's work and then you post it as though it's yours. Many YouTubers make that mistake. Now when YouTube looks at the two contents, it doesn't know who's the original. And so it will hit probably the original person of that content and leave out the copycats. And by copycats, I mean where you literally take somebody's work and post it as yours. So meaning that two channels are talking about the same thing, word for word for word. The feel, everything is the same, no changes. So sometimes the original content creator is the one that gets hit with these policy violations, and the copycat is basically safe because the YouTube doesn't know who's the owner of that. So those are the sort of issues that many YouTubers face, particularly South African YouTubers. I've noticed sometimes they will not delete your channel, but what they will do, they will suspend. If you are monetized, they will suspend your monetization maybe for 7 days or 14 days. Sometimes they will just demonetize you and tell you that you need to reapply for monetization as though you just became eligible for monetization after achieving your 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I know all that I'm saying right now, it's kind of like, what are you talking about? Yes, these things do happen, and they've happened to many people. Recently, I've had 3 people in my DMs asking, how do I get my channel back? And these are the people, by the way, guys, I'm not going to mention names. Sometimes I do support content creators on here in South Africa. I would subscribe to almost everybody's channel that I come across. So now people have this tendency of thinking that YouTube operates the same as Twitter. No, YouTube doesn't work like Twitter. They are very strict about not turning into Twitter. So I noticed that there are people that are coming from Twitter because they just discovered that, oh my goodness, I can have my own TV show. And then they come in there with F-bombs. They are just throwing F-bombs, and there's nothing wrong with twanging. Fine. You can twang all the way to Timbuktu for all I care. But there are policy guidelines against profanity on YouTube. So they come in and they throw in profanity, and they Every single sentence, every word is F-bombs and be this, and they discuss women in the most derogatory ways. And I go into I always ask for the Instagram or Twitter handle so that I can go into the DM and tell them that you are doing YouTube the wrong way. YouTube does not. One of them actually said something very nasty towards me, and this is the same person who came back. This is the third time this has happened to me. I will say, no, don't do this. And then this person will come back like, just because you're teaching people about YouTube doesn't mean that you know everything about it. Does YouTube belong to you? You're like, no, I'm just trying to help because I want to see you succeed on the platform. It's just that there are rules that you are not allowed to do. For example, the first 30 seconds of your video, you are not allowed to swear. You're not allowed to say a single profanic word in your first 30 seconds of your video. But this person just shoots F-bombs. So now the channels are deleted. And then you have another group of YouTubers, particularly women, they come smoking hookah. Smoke. There's a policy in YouTube that falls under drug use on your videos. Now, with hookah, nobody knows what you put in there. You can say, no, it's just flavor. YouTube doesn't know that. They don't know what other substances you've added onto your hookah. And as a result, they delete such a channel. That girl's channel was gone after she said some really horrible things. And I was like, but I told you. Is it hookah? Is it? I've never known how. Is it hookah? How do you call that thing? Yeah, that stuff of theirs that they do. Do not do it. Like smoking a cigarette, don't do it on your videos. I think very soon they are going to clamp down on drinking alcohol on your videos. That has not happened yet, but sooner or later that is coming. You will hear that no alcohol is allowed on your videos no more, because people used to smoke cigars, cigarettes. They used to even smoke this hookah thing as well. But YouTube, as you know, is changing its policies every now and again, and all that stuff is no longer allowed. I hope we understand each other, guys, on this one. Let me go back to the live chat. Malebo says, I'm the first to admit that I never read all the guidelines. I always pick up what people are saying not to do and stay away from that. Please go and read them. Very, very important. Hi, Cecilia. She's in the house. Client says the word copycat has trigger effects on. Cecilia, you're disturbing me. Yeah, I have seen it as well on YouTube. People say, don't use the word copycats. Like, guys, no. No. You see, now I'm going to laugh forever because no, please. Okay, let me just read another the live chat so that I can just get over the laughter. Malema says twang all the way to where? Timbuktu. Smoking hookah. Hey Marco, how are you doing? Welcome. It's good to see you here. Chantel says, me too. Guilty as charged. Never read those guidelines. Please. The thing is, if you've never read the guidelines and then you create a video, you will never know that that video is actually violating YouTube guidelines. So glazing over them, I always say read to understand, but the jargons that are on those policies, they need a lawyer basically, or somebody that is trained in law for you to understand them. That is why I'm saying, come to me if you don't understand a particular clause on the guidelines, because it can be very confusing, especially copper, COPPA. I see a lot of YouTubers doing this mistake, and one day YouTube is just going to. And by the way, the warning was, if you violate the COPPA policy, YouTube has the right to sue you $42,500. Now, as a South African, go multiply that by 17. Start with that policy. It's about children. It's about children. I think COPPA means children online private something something. I can't remember properly. That is directly linked to the United States government. So the United States government sued YouTube of hundreds of millions of dollars because of content that were harmful to children. I think once again, the reason why I'm using Dibu's name is because we are buddies, and she doesn't mind me using her name on my content. She mentioned also on Saturday that she had an SAMR video, but guess what YouTube did? Took that video down. They said this video is inappropriate for children because she had her children on the video, and I think they were eating bones or something like that. And YouTube said this video is not appropriate for children. So they took it down. She's lucky that they took it down because YouTube could just come and send you a lawsuit of $42,500 for having children, number one, on your videos. I keep saying this. Avoid having children in your videos. Avoid having children in your videos. I know little Johnny is cute and you want to show him off to the world. I know you want little Johnny to have his first day at school to be documented and posted on YouTube. That you are calling trouble to yourself. Avoid using popular music or music on your videos so that you don't get hit with a copyright claim or a copyright strike. Do the same with having children on your videos. Just because YouTube has not done anything yet, that doesn't mean they're not coming. Yeah, that's coming. They will take down your videos. If they don't take down your videos, they will slap you with a lawsuit to recover those hundreds of millions that they were sued for by the US government. Let's go back to the chats. Okay, let me go up. Let's go up, let's go up, let's go up a little bit. Okay, Cecilia says, thank you for all this info. No, you're very much welcome. Bako, I don't advise the drinking of alcohol. I also don't, but at the same time, I understand the aesthetic of it. And as I said, at some point, they are going to clamp down. They are going to clamp down on drinking alcohol on the platform. If they've done away with cigarettes and cigars, they will do away with drinking alcohol on videos at some point, because YouTube is shaping itself into a classy platform. By classy, I'm talking about in a respectful way or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's going towards a certain class, maybe the elite class. And if you are going to do things that advertisers are going to say, we don't associate our adverts with that channel or with that video, then you are the one who is going to suffer the consequences. It's called Hubbly Bubble or Hookah. Oh, yeah, I know this word, Hubbly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Avoid that stuff. Avoid it. In fact, run away from it like you saw a plague coming. Maleva is laughing. She says, serves her right. Hookah, yes, but what happened to Hubbly Bubbly? Isn't it the same thing? Just don't smoke. Anything with smoke, do not bring it on your videos. Avoid it with all costs. Okay? Okay, there are laughters going on. Maleva, I think you should make a video teaching us about the guidelines. That's actually a good idea. Let me note that down. Let me note that. Guideline video. Okay, I'll tell you why I have not created such a video before. I've thought about it. It's a good idea. I've thought about it before. The thing is, I don't want to feed you these guidelines. I want it to be your thing. to sit down and read them. If you don't understand, then you can come to me and then I will explain it. But if I'm going to feed you these things, you are not probably take them seriously. Remember another thing, my type of content is under education. And people, especially here in South Africa, they are not, I almost said something that might be offensive. Not the F word. I want to say fond. They are not very much interested in education type of content. If I turned my YouTube channel right now into a gossip channel, believe you me, by the end of this month, my channel subscriber count would blow up the roof. So we are not very much into education type of content. So if I had to create a video like that, people will be like, oh my God, this is boring. It doesn't matter how funny I may try to make it, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Great idea. I've noted it, but I still want you to go and read them yourself. Make it your mission as a content creator because it affects you, and you will never know if you are violating a guideline if you have not read them. Please do that. Let's go back up. These chats are moving. Cecilia says, Timbuktu. Yes. Little Johnny is cute. Yeah, I can imagine. Little Johnny is cute and you want to show him off to the world. But YouTube, no, it doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to protect your child from potential danger. Because the thing is, you'll never know who's watching your videos and what you're exposing your children to on the other side of the lens. And that is exactly what YouTube is trying to avoid. You don't want now to start screaming or maybe going to sue YouTube because your child was harmed and yet they did not warn you against having your child on your videos. That's basically the idea around it. Protect your children. All right. At least that's how I understand that policy. Please start with it. It's called COPPA, COPPA, COPPA. Go read it and understand it and avoid having your kids on your videos. Let's stay away from twanging, period. No. Let me explain something about twanging and why I support it. I support twanging on your videos for one simple reason. Now, if you are, there's this, okay, English is spoken in different ways. So I don't know if you've heard a Nigerian speak English. I don't know if you've heard a Zulu person speaks English, a Xhosa person speaks English. They have their own accents that is closest to their home language. So that is what you would call hard English, like the pronunciations are hard. So when you have a hard pronunciations, it becomes difficult for people on the other parts of the world to understand what you are saying. Now, remember, YouTube is a global platform. So if I create a YouTube video and I post it on the platform and the YouTube algorithm, the first thing that it will pick up is that, oh, okay, this is an English speaking video. And guess what it does? It takes that video to English speaking countries around the world. In the United States, in the United Kingdom, in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all of these countries. And you want those people, when your video gets to them, to understand what you are saying. Let me tell you something about twanging. I think I said this in some, I think it was just Katleho's, she was speaking about stuff that people don't like about content creators. And so twanging was one of the things that they mentioned. And I went under her post and I said, actually, if you go to countries in Asia, if you don't have an American accent, they will not take you seriously. South Korea is most guilty for this. They've been taking international English teachers. I think up until recently they stopped. Now they want Americans to come and teach English in Korea. If you are from outside the United States, they would at least want you to have an American standard English to teach in South Korea. That is also happening, I think, in China. It's happening almost everywhere in Asia or countries that do not speak English. That also includes South American countries. So that goes as well with your YouTube videos. If you are going to speak English the way you speak English, chances are your videos might not necessarily make it to, I'm not saying it's not going to make it, may not necessarily make it in those countries where they would rather watch a video with an accent that is familiar to them, and usually that is an American accent. If I'm making any sense. That's why I support the whole twanging thing. But what I don't support in the twanging thing is when you start using profanity, because profanity is advertiser unfriendly, and most advertisers will not, or brands for that matter, will not want to associate themselves with your or run ads along your YouTube videos. Yes, there are those that do throw in profanity. Maybe they are okay with the amount of money they are earning on YouTube. But if you do not use profanity, you get your green dollar icon, and then you just make money. And for alcohol, I think some incorporates or corporates that. What? I'm sorry. Can you say that again? Or maybe it's me who's not reading properly. I'm dyslexic, guys. And for alcohol, I think some corporates, I think, because of brands, or incorporates that because of, oh yes, okay, yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Walk with all. Hello, welcome in. It's always good to see you. Gardening with Betty K says, I just made a video trapping slugs with alcohol. But then context is very important here. You are not intaking it. That's the difference. You are not intaking it, but you are trapping creatures using. It's like using alcohol to clean or to sanitize, for example. That you will not be punished for. But context is very important. When you do it with the context that this is what I'm doing. But if you are going to be sanitizing or trapping slugs and then at the same time you take a sip, that's all I'll say. I'll just give you the side eye. I'm a virtual learner. Anything that has to do with reading becomes a bit difficult, but I understand. Yeah, no. I get the different types of learners. But even though you are a visual learner, please first start with it. And then if you don't understand, like I said, I'm open to making it easy for you to understand. But that video, you are absolutely right. I will do it. I think I will do it when I do how to start a YouTube channel, how to grow a YouTube channel in January for those that have New Year resolutions to start their own YouTube channels and things like that. And then I will also include a video about the community guidelines and which community guidelines you should focus on so that you don't find yourself violating them. Chantal Batum Clancy's feed us just feed you what? What do you want to feed you? Cecilia says Clancy's is training already, guys. Oh, with Cecilia, actually, I've been twanging all my life. It's something that I've tried to lose when I was living in KZN. I deliberately went back to my father's home in KZN so that I can be amongst Zulu people and lose my twang in my English. But unfortunately, that did not happen. But there's a story behind that. If you remember, when we entered democracy in 1994, I just started school, I think, the previous year. And then that school that I was in was a black school, a township school. But for some reason, they could not handle me, or I was too of a curious kid. So they removed me from that school, and I think one of the teachers was friends with some white lady that taught in what we now know as Model C. So then I was moved to that school, and then in that particular school, there was an American teacher who happened to be my class teacher as well as my English teacher. So now coming from speaking just Zulu, and then you learn English for the first time, your English accent will be. I don't know if you've listened to Charlize Theron explaining why she speaks American. I understand her. So people laugh at her, but I understand her. I know what she's talking about because that was me. That was me. Here I am, the only black kid, together with my older brother, and we are Zulus, and we are being taught English for the first time in an American English. The reason why they were bringing, it's like South Korea right now. South Korea is bringing in American teachers to teach English so that it gives South Korean children an opportunity to make it in the world. So the idea was the same here in South Africa when we went into democracy. I know there were some schools that were chosen for this project, and so my school was one of the schools that was chosen to like fill in these American teachers. And so that was the first time. That was my first time interacting with a person that spoke English and an American. So I picked up all those. If you listen to my pronunciation, enunciations, dialects, and all that, when I speak English, it's Americanized, kind of. I do try to lose it, but it's so difficult to lose it. I think I've done pretty well in losing a lot of it. And another thing that also kind of like confused my brain is that in South Africa, we speak British English. Now, these American teachers, when they came to South Africa, they came with American English. So sometimes I would mix masala my words. Sometimes if I remember, oh yeah, usually it's when it's time for, let's say I did an essay or I did a composition and then I see red marks. I used to hate red marks. They used to make me cry. You see it like red marks, and then those red marks is where I'm being corrected about an English word that I use. I would use an American term when in fact I should have used a British English term, and then I'll get those red circles and stuff. And I would have to remember that, by the way, it was a mess, guy. It was a good mess, but it was a mess. So that is why I have a twang in my speech, if you would say. Sometimes people, when they look at me, and I speak, they think that I come from abroad until I speak Zulu. And well, what? Zulu? I get Zulu papa. And then the whole idea that we have an international guy amongst us goes flying through the window. So yeah, I will tell a story time about that because it's a very long story time, because I was taught by an American from grade 1 all the way to grade 7. And then when I graduated from primary school into high school, I went to an all-boys school, and guess what? My English teacher for first 2 years was an American. Then from grade 10 to 12, it was a Scottish lady. So now I also, if you listen closely, you would also hear me switch a little bit into a British accent. It's a mess. In here, it's a mess, people. It's a mess, which is none of my fault. I did not ask to go to these schools, because sometimes people have a tendency of blaming the kid when in fact they should be like, oh, your mom killed you or whatever. But then same thing as well, my mom, she did not like intentionally take me to the school. I got into these schools by scholarship, simply because apparently up here, apparently that's what they said. And throughout primary school, and these schools were very expensive for my mom to afford, especially high school. My high school was 350,000 rand a year, but I didn't pay a cent. It was all scholarship. So yeah, it's a mess up here. It's a huge mess up here. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. That's why I don't feel bad about it. If somebody wants to make fun of me about it, I usually don't care because I know it's not something I actively said, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah. And there were a lot of also ignorances that I had that I learned, like, oh, so what? You know, I keep learning things, even to this very day. I keep learning things that I thought we, we had, only to find out no, we didn't. Uh, yeah. Let me go back to the live chat. I think I've explained this to death. Hey Jane. Oh, Jane is in the house. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for coming through. Gardening with Betty says, "Ooh, shoo, hi. Okay, I'm good." How do you feel about YouTube handles that will be rolled out? That is my last point. There it is. There it is. I will explain it very soon. Don't worry about that. Nutty, that's Yvonne is in the house. How's New York City? You need twang sometimes. People can understand. That's so, yeah. You see, we have an American in the house. Tell me, Yvonne, do you understand most of African YouTubers when you watch their videos, or you wish that they spoke in a twangy type of English so that you can understand what they're saying? I'd like to hear that. So we have evidences in the house. We have an American. She's in the house. This is Natty Slim from New York City. But I see what you're saying here. In fact, you are answering my question. You need to twang sometimes. Yeah, you need to twang sometimes. Yeah, I also agree that now and again in your videos, do twang so that Americans, if they are watching your videos, they get a glimpse of what you're talking about. I think that will help you. Um, yeah, I think I get along with Natty Slim very well because we do understand each other. She understands what I'm saying on my videos. And in fact, most of Americans, that's what they've said. In fact, some Americans, especially in my true crime channel, they will ask me where in the States I come from. And I'll be like, no, I'm very much South African and stuff like that. Somebody also mistook me for Nigerian, which was quite funny to, not like in a negative way, in a way that I know how Nigerian accents, when they speak English, how strong and bold they are. Almost hard to understand. You have to really pay attention in order for you to understand what they are saying. But now I live in South Africa and they are Nigerians and they've trained my ear to understand them when they speak. Sonia Tube is in the house. Hi, Sonia Tube. It's so good to see you. Let me tell you something, but I will mention this in this point, point number 4 about the handles. Something about your channel name that is going to put you in trouble with YouTube. They haven't started yet. Do not panic, but you have an opportunity to change it. Okay. So Natty Slim says, I can't sometimes, but I love the culture. So eventually I get used to it. Oh yeah, if you keep hearing now and again, over and over, you get to understand. Twanky man. Twanky. That was so funny. It's not a person. It's speech. It's how people speak, an accent, American accent. I don't know. But some I don't go. But some of don't go. Those English schools. Our school was only one period. Okay. Actually, I've learned a lot about schools because I was enclosed in this, I don't know, perfection, I suppose. Because the schools that I went to, they had everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. I'm talking resources. And I got surprised to find out afterwards I had matriculated that not all of us enjoyed the same things. In my school, we had biology lab, geography lab, we had science labs, we had with all the equipment and creatures in bottles of water that when we do these experiments or we talk about a particular creature, we see it all in a jar of water and things like that. I thought every school in South Africa was like that. A rude awakening, rude awakening, which kind of made me a little bit embarrassed as well that I did not bother myself learning about other schools. Sonia 2 says, ha ha ha, just pulling your leg. Yeah, sometimes I rara. Also, but not too much. No, yeah, throw it in, put some spice, and let your audience or the other side of the world understand what you're saying. Betty K says, you see, what? You see, no, my English bundles. Yes, because I'm like, what are you saying? But you always complain about English on your videos. I always laugh. You remember in the beginning of your channel, I used to say speak English so that your videos get spread across the world. And then Betty would try it for 2 days. After that, now Tswana is back to Tswana, which was very funny. Let's go to my my second point. Oh my goodness, the time has gone. Okay, let's be quick. So because I have to also speak about this new update. Let's quickly do. Okay, I'm just going to run through the second point. The second point is vlogging. Somebody in my which was day 10 vlog mentioned that they now feel comfortable to vlog because my vlogs have given her a different perspective. She always thought that to vlog you need to have money, you need to have all these beautiful things that you will show in your vlogs, when vlogging is actually about you. If you've been following me for a long time, you would know that I do not like a day in my life type of vlogs. Now that it is Vlogtober, it's all about you. It's about a day in your life. That's what Vlogtober is about. It's about you, the way you live your life, things that you eat in a day, your routines, and whatever else that you do. The only issue that you may have is how do you pull people in to be interested in your life? So I thought, hey, let me show people how I live my life without all these fancy stuff. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Do you? But it is all about you when you are doing vlogs. And then you get to document your likes, your interest in that vlog. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that is what I wanted. In case you were thinking that I can't vlog because I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have money for. Use what you've got. Use what you've got. Just use what you've got. That is enough. That is enough. You don't have to have all this money and all these fancy stuff to be vlogging. Maybe you can do that when your YouTube channel is starting to make you some tons of money in the future. Excuse me then. Point number 3, I wanted to ask you, if you are a YouTuber, how's Vlogtober been going for you? For me, it has been exciting. I didn't expect the response that I've been getting. Every response that I've gotten thus far has been positive. So positive that I'm a Cancer, guys. Cancers, we're just a ball of tears. We cry at everything, especially when acts of kindness are being shown to us or someone else. My gosh, what are people saying? This is lovely. Yeah, that's us, Cancers. So I've been a ball of tears because of all the positive comments that I've been getting. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you guys. Your support means absolutely the world to me. Never doubt that. So my Vlogtober has been going so well so far. I'm motivated every single day to create another vlog. So I'm excited about that. That's also made me think about the future as well when it comes to vlogging. Now let's do this final one because I really want to finish exactly an hour like an hour since I've started this live. So YouTube made an announcement yesterday about handles. You know, a handle, for example, you have a Twitter handle at Clantis, or Instagram at the Real Clantis Tutorials, and things like that. I think even TikTok has a handle. Now, YouTube also, I think in the next month or so, your YouTube channel, you see your URL of your YouTube channel, you see that long URL that they give you, that automated URL that they give you, that comes to an end. As a matter of fact, now what they are going to do, they are just going to look at your YouTube channel. For example, my YouTube channel is the Real Planters Tutorials. So they are going to give it, for example, my URL, my new URL will be www.youtube.com/the Real Planters Tutorials. That is basically what they mean, is at YouTube. I think it's going to be at YouTube/the Real Clantis Tutorials. I think that's how it's going to look like. Now, I want to talk about the dangers of this change. The dangers of this change, guys, is going to be where your channel is the same name as someone else's channel. Let's say there's another Real Clantis Tutorials on YouTube. Now, that means we have to be on a race. Me and that YouTuber, we're going to have to be on a race. Meaning what? That if I want my handle to be YouTube, if I want my handle to be YouTube/the Real Clantis Tutorial, at YouTube/the Real Clantis Tutorials, I have to do it first. Otherwise, the other person who has the same channel as mine will take it and secure it, and now I will no longer have that handle. So just make sure that change your YouTube channel names, if you can, into something that you will that when they start giving us these handles, it's going to reflect your brand. Okay, that it reflects your brand. So it is that's in a nutshell. That's how I understood the whole handle thing. But I am going to create a video on this update so that you understand what's at stake here. But you don't have to become eligible for your channel to have this handle. For example, you don't need 100 subscribers like previously to customize your URL. Now it's just going to be for everybody, whether you are a new YouTuber or been around you as a YouTuber. So we're all getting these handles. So I am going to create a video on that one. So the other one is Sonia Tube. Sonia Tube, you see that word tube at the end. Right now, YouTube just made it. It wasn't necessarily an update what's going to happen, but I think they were just passing through about YouTube names that ends with a tube. I think they will at some point remove the name, not your channel, maybe your name, and then ask you to create a new name. I think they're trying to secure the tube part. I'm not sure. So I'm not trying to say, hey, or scaring you. It hasn't happened yet, but I think it was some kind of maybe warning, for a lack of better word. I'm not sure. Just check on that one. Okay, let me go back to the live chats and then we close this. Okay, we are back here now again. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Let's do the live chats. You need your own emojis, seriously. Who, me? Sonia says, I usually do vlogs, but Vlogtober, I decided to do sit downs, and so far, so good. Awesome. That's great. Maybe vlog once in a blue moon. Okay, maybe in a month, we vlog twice. That's what I'm planning to do. Vlog once or twice a month. The comments are really motivating. This is a great community I have on this channel. I love each and every one of these guys. I can tell you that for sure. Betty says Vlogtober has been great so far. Every day the subscribers are growing up. Yes, I love it. That's a whole point of Vlogtobing. Two things that you would experience: a growth of your channel, and if you're monetized, your ad revenue also shoots to the sky. All those monetized channels, they are going to be smiling. They'll be just laughing to the bank, honestly. Label, which that is Journey of an Auxiliary Nurse, says true. October 2022 or Shorttober have been good so far. Pulled in a few subs, but little did I know that data is super expensive during Vlogtober period. Hope to plan better for Vlogmas. Yeah, because you have to constantly upload videos. So I get that the whole data thing is quite expensive. You are right. Sonia says that's where the danger is. That's where the danger is. Every time I hear that's where the danger is, I keep thinking of that guy who's accused of, you know, what I mean. Sonia too says, I already changed my channel name 3 times. Now you can change it for the last time. Change it for the last time to something that sounds like a channel, like the channel. Because I'm sure there are other Sonias out there, but do your research first. Or you can still keep Sonia, but put something else. Maybe you can put a number, like so. Maybe your birthday or birth year, Sonia 1992 or something like that. I don't know, but it must make sense to your brand as a content creator on YouTube. The last one is Sonia Tube says, but we shall see. I hope I beat the other YouTube, the Sonia Tubes. Let me see what YouTube says about my name. I understand. Yeah, okay, no, it's cool. You don't have to put pressure on yourself because it wasn't something uh, that we should be concerned about. I don't know, but yeah, yeah, beat whoever is Sonia Tube. You have to wait for that day and apply. I think on your YouTube. Okay, yeah, no. I think they're going to make. They'll let you know on your YouTube studio. So from this point on, every day, go into a YouTube studio and see if you haven't gotten the go ahead to apply for your handle, and that's how you beat all the other Sonia tubes. Hopefully, it's going to happen on our time zone rather than anywhere else in the world. Constant Corsi is in the house. Hello, everyone. Just when I'm saying goodbye, but hello to you. Thank you for joining. Cecilia says, Dead by Atlantis afraid to say Hey, you said it. Mina, I did not. You said it. I didn't. I don't want him coming for me, guys. Mina, I'm afraid of a knife. Don't come with no. Oh, wanna cook? Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, you're coming when I'm closing. Dumelang, Dumelang. How are you doing? How's Vlogtober going so far in your cooking niche? I'm very interested to know. He's so diplomatic. I try. You know what the danger is about that name. Yo, mean I gay sab. I don't lie. No, hi Constance. Hey Tato. Oh, now that I know where the danger is, Mina. I know where the you know, if there was one thing we were taught back in high school. So before you matriculate in my high school, we have the guidance teacher sit us all down as boys, and then the first lesson he taught us was as you leave school and you're going out into that big bad world, be afraid of this individual, a person who has nothing to lose. Do not go into a relationship with someone who's got nothing to lose. Find value in them that they would guide with everything they've got. And we're not talking material things here. We're talking spiritual things, we're talking intellectual things, emotional things, and psychological things, because all of these work hand in hand is what makes a decent human being. A decent human being has everything to lose. And then the second thing that he taught us was to build a reputation takes forever, but to destroy it only a second. And once it is broken, you can never try to fix it again, because people will always go back and remind you, even if you were found innocent of whatever you were accused of, that always sticks to your name. And the last thing that he also taught us was about trust. He had a mirror, he threw it down, it broke, and he tried to put it back to its original shape. But guess what? The mirror had many cracks and holes and all, because some pieces were missing. Because when a mirror breaks, it breaks even into tiniest pieces, and you can't put those pieces together. It says that's how trust is. It's a solid mirror. The moment the mirror breaks, and then you try to put it together, all these crevices that you see, that's the new trust. That means people will never trust you again solidly. So those are the things that we've learned. Now about this, you know what the danger is. Hey, this person has nothing to lose. Me, I am afraid to even say his name out. Ngoba, hey, ngiyabonga. Ningixolele. I'm not coming. Wanacook says, I am great. Hey, Sonia, my love. Hi, Cecilia. Very true. I always say that. Two people to stay away from. Yeah, those people are very, very dangerous. You, Vlogtober, can miss me, shame. My content is expensive. Also, I have not posted single videos in October. Yeah, no, I noticed. But you had, yeah, no, I've noticed. On Instagram, though, cool. But doesn't seem to affect my revenue. Pretty much stay constant. Yeah, because people forever go searching for cooking content, especially recipes, a type of dish and things like that. So you cool there. This is a great niche you chose. Cecilia says, one, a person who has nothing to lose. Two, a person who has a lot to lose. Yes, yes, yes. A person who has a lot to lose, usually their decision not to lose what they've got is always dire, where a human life becomes endangered. So yeah, you're absolutely right about a person who has a lot to lose as well. There we go. I want to close this by 1 hour 10 minutes. So let's finish off here. Malebo says that is a lesson I had to learn the hard way. Something that I'm still trying to recover from. Yeah, usually when you get involved with a person who has nothing to lose, they take everything away from you. Everything. You have to start from scratch and rebuild your life, especially if it's a relationship. I'm never going to a relationship with somebody who has nothing to lose. I don't care how beautiful or handsome, sexy they look. Run away. The moment you hear them say, pay the bill, child, bye. Run and never look back. So I'm not saying that people that say pay their bills, they don't have money or deserve love. But now walk into this with your eyes open. See the red flags. Look at what they've got to lose. If they're staying in their mother's house or mother's basement, that's a red flag that this person has nothing to lose. Yeah. Let me not say too much, because some people might get offended, and I don't like offending people unintentionally, because I'm not intentional in when you get offended. I apologize if you do. Okay, my last one will be Sonia Tube. The danger is this stream closing and me going to practice my twang for my watch a lot of American YouTube and then pick up some few here and there. I'm coming back with a bang, like I never went missing. I'm just afraid that Mr. Algorithm has pushed me to the curb. No, your content usually miss the algorithm unless the gods of algorithm has a different mind of their own. But no, you will not get much of a pushback. Instead, you will be welcomed back. So you don't have to worry about that one. I can assure you, you don't have to worry about that one. So guys, let me say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always great to interact with you during this of October. Like I said, I am going to go live 3 times a week. I did not go live this previous when was it that I was supposed to go live? It's a Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I can't remember when it was. Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, I could not because I dropped a video. I can't remember what happened, people, but I did drop a video about the update. Oh yeah, no, I dropped a video about the monetization disappearing. So I thought, okay, that's more important than a live. But I was also afraid of load shedding. Sorry, guys. Let me say goodbye. Thank you so much. Love you all. And let's see each other again in my next vlog. Thank you for the support. Mwah.